And here on Bronco Nation News, I talked about it, our summer series, kind of catching up with the Mountain West basketball coaches. And as I mentioned, doing kind of a double dip here with Lindy's Magazine, but excited to catch up with some of the Mountain West coaches and get to see how their teams are rebuilding, retool, and reloading. It was a historic year in the Mountain West last year and looking forward to another one this year. And Utah State, very interesting roster, and with what they did last year, and Jerrod Calhoun taking over, coming in from Youngstown State. Super appreciative of you jumping on here and talking about your team. Congratulations on the job, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Looking forward to it.
I guess first of all, just you take this job, you come in from Youngstown State. I mean, it's been kind of a revolving door at Utah State in terms of coaches, the last 4, 5, 6 years. What was appealing about this job? And maybe just give us the big picture, first month or two on the job here, how it's going, what you've been trying to do. You've kept some key guys that we're going to talk about. You've added some key guys. I'm sure you're drinking out of the fire hose here these first couple of months, but what appealed to you about this job, and how's it gone so far?
Yeah, I think there was a number of things that really, really stood out about the Utah State job. First is just the history and the tradition of the program. If you look at all of the great coaches that have been here, there's been sustained success for a number of years here at Utah State. There's been unbelievable players. There's a real brotherhood, real meaning when you put on the Aggie uniform. It's tremendous. And then just a real care factor here in Cache Valley and Logan. People just love the Aggies, and I think it really starts with our student section. I think we have the best student section in the country. The Herd, they're very, very passionate about Aggie sports. And then our season ticket holders, they're there every game, and it's just a hostile environment. And then what really drew me in was the leadership. Diana Sabo ran a tremendous search. It stood out for any other search that I've ever been a part of. Just the alignment that I felt, not only with the first initial conversation, but when I arrived on campus, I really felt at home when I came here to Logan.
What, in terms of what you've tried to do and hit the ground running in terms of the roster, and nowadays with the transfer portal and everything else going on, it's a little I don't want to say easier, but just you attack it a different way when you go to a new job than maybe you did 4, 5, 6 years ago. Maybe you look at jobs differently in terms of the roster and things like that. But what was kind of on your to-do list, and maybe just give us a rundown of your first couple of months on the job here.
Yeah, we really took it week by week. The first 2 weeks, we were able to get on the court with the guys. We had a lot of guys that already entered the portal. We worked everybody out for 2 weeks, and then we did a lot of player meetings and really just got to know their story. I think that's what sports and life is really about. Everybody has a story, and as we, got into it and really met these guys, it was really, really a unique situation. So we met with everybody, and each guy now has, the ability to stay or go in the portal. So I felt like the guys we were able to retain and keep here as Aggies were the most important guys in our program, more important than really attacking the portal. So the first couple of weeks were really good. And then once the guys decided, the guys that were coming back, we felt really good about the core group that we had coming back here. And then we just added from there and really recruited to our system. And it's worked out really well.
A couple of those returners, Ian Martinez, Mason Foslov, Isaac Johnson, I know key guys. Just talk about, I guess what the sales pitch was to keep those guys around, and how nice is it to, when you're trying to, build this program and to where you want it to be able to have 3, guys, starters, key contributors, 2 double-digit scorers in the Mountain West to return to kind of anchor your roster here.
Yeah, and then also Carson Templin and Jackson Smith, those 2 kids also came, and they're going to have big roles. I thought it was really, really key. Ian Martinez has played for a number of coaches in different programs, had a great year last year. What Coach Sprinkle and this group, last year's group, were able to accomplish was just tremendous. Regular season title, to go, in the NCAA tournament, win a game, advance in March. It was just phenomenal to see. It was a conference that, I watched a lot of. I stayed up many a nights on the East Coast, so I was very familiar with Ian. Mason Falslev, I think, is just going to continue to get better. The first thing that sticks out for him is his work ethic. The kid rolls up his sleeves. He works really, really hard. He's got a great body. He's great in the open floor. I think he'll continue to improve in all aspects. Isaac Johnson really is a forward that fits us. His ability and his size, his length to shoot the basketball and stretch the D. He's only going to get better. And same thing with Carson Templin. He's a young guy that brings energy, can play either forward position. And then Jackson Smith went through a whole year at Utah State and understands what it means to wear the uniform. So all 5 guys will be very, very critical. And if you look at the landscape of college basketball, the teams that are winning at a high level in March have some returning players. So I think there's a good combination of that.
Well, you went out too and added to that roster with, I think if I counted right, at least as of now, 6, players that average double figures at previous stops. I mentioned just the way it is nowadays in college basketball. It's a little easier or different in terms of retooling a roster. You guys don't have to sit out a year and things like that. What were you looking for in the portal? And maybe you can just touch on some of the newcomers that you're excited about.
Yeah, well, I'm excited about all of them. I think, every guy that we've brought in here, can really, really play. Some guys are young, some guys are old. We really try to recruit to our system, which is a system that's very, very free-flowing. We want our guys to play green, which is, next play mentality. We want our guys to have the ability to pass, catch, shoot, make the right reads, space the floor, fight for space in the first 8 seconds of a shot clock. So traditionally, we like guys that are very versatile, have some length on the perimeter, and can do a little bit of everything. So I think we're able to accomplish that in the portal.
When you look at, in particular, maybe Tucker Anderson, I know 6'9" wing transfer, Central Arkansas, the ASUN freshman of the year, 14.5 points. I mean, I think it was almost 40% from 3 as well. I think like 38%. Just what to get him, I guess, is he a guy you're talking about that fits your system? What's exciting about having Tucker?
Yeah, Tuck, I watched him quite a bit out of high school. He's got great length. He can, shoot at the mid-range. He can attack mismatches. He can get transition threes, lift threes, ability to one dribble pull up. At our level, with his size and his shot-making ability, he's only going to get better. He's just a young guy. He's only a sophomore. He's growing into his body, has tremendous ability to play this game. So, yeah, he was a really, really good player for us.
Now, last year, I know Utah State didn't get a ton of their points from the beyond the three-point arc, unless when they were playing Boise State, it seemed like they couldn't miss a couple of those games last year. But for the most part, they ranked lower in the country in terms of attempts per game. That's obviously not what you mentioned, your style and your system. You love to let guys, let it fly from the outside. I think you're top 20 in the country at Youngstown State in three-point attempts per game, over 27 a game. I assume you're bringing that style with you, as you said. In terms of the three-point percentage, is that just going to be something different? I mean, the three-point shot attempts, that's just going to be a difference from what we saw from Utah State a year ago?
I don't we don't really go into a season and put a set number. I think the defense nowadays tells you what shot you should take. So what we try to do is create 2-on-1s, right? 2 on the ball, pass the ball. We want our guys to have the ability and the confidence to certainly take and make threes at all 5 positions, right? From 1 through 5, we want those guys to shoot the basketball. But, it's not a set number. It's really about reading the defense. But we will probably take and hopefully make a bunch of threes this year.
5 NCAA trip appearances in the last 6 years at Utah State. And I mentioned you're the 4th coach now in this span, but whoever comes in, they just keep it rolling there in Logan. It seems like, is it, winning the league last year and doing what this team did? Is that, new roster, first year, whatever. It sounds like you're no excuses. Like you want to win the league. You think you're putting a team together that can win this league right away, back to back and make the tournament again here in year 1.
Well, I have tremendous respect for this league. This league is coming off a record year inside the conference. Up and down, every school has great coaches, not just head coaches, great coaching staffs that are very cohesive. You can see that in the way they play on both sides of the ball, right? What makes a good basketball team is you can't be dominant on one side, right? If you're going to have a good defense, you got to have a great offense, right? And vice versa. So a lot of respect for what this league stands for and where we're trying to go. So I think, our goal is to work every single day, maximum effort to grow. We got a great opportunity this summer. We're going to go on a foreign trip to Italy and Croatia, get a chance to play 3 games, 10 practices, really implement our system on both sides, and hopefully really get to know each other on a deeper level. But we want to advance in March. I think that's every coach's goal for their team is you have to be playing great basketball throughout the year, right? And to get to March, you have to play good, really in the non-conference, right? So we're going to schedule a really difficult schedule. We're going to challenge ourselves not only here in Logan, but also neutral site games and on the road. And then in the conference, it's going to be tremendous, right? Every night is going to be a test. So you got to play really good basketball in those first 2 seasons to have a chance for the 3rd season, which is what everybody remembers. So I think it's a great time to be an Aggie, whether you're a recruit, you're coming into this program at a great time, to be a fan, to be a member of our student section. It's just at an all-time high right now. So we're looking to continue the tradition here and hopefully advance in March.
I'm gonna have to get on Leon Rice here because they went on a foreign trip last year, and I went and covered it, and they only went to Canada. I mean, Italy. I mean, come on. I would have loved.
Where'd you guys go? Toronto?
No, Vancouver area.
Nice.
Played 3 games up, and it was beautiful. I'd never been up to Vancouver, and it was beautiful, and got 3 games in, and it was fun. But I mean, Italy is Italy. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we're excited. In Croatia, I've never been there. Been to Italy twice, but
wow.
Yeah, I think Croatia will be really neat too.
Yeah, they're going to the Cayman Islands tournament this year. I see your little trophy in the back there. So that'll be a nice Thanksgiving couple of days, I guess.
Yeah, these trophies are a constant reminder of the tradition, right? I think in the last 6 years, four trophies up there,
Yep.
2 regular season titles and 2 tournament titles. So, we got to be ready to go.
Well, Coach Calhoun, you're going to be looking to add to that yourself here in year 1 at Utah State. We appreciate your time for jumping on here. And you mentioned the student section there. I've said this publicly, and I agree. It's the loudest. I've been to every Mountain West venue multiple times. And last year, now they were honoring, their name in the court after Coach Morrill last year, and it was they had 7. I think the previous 7 coaches were in person, but it was an electric atmosphere last year, and it was the loudest visiting venue I had heard in some time. So you're right, man. That student section is something special, and it's going to be pretty cool for you to have that behind you as an advantage this year. So appreciate your time. Best of luck in year 1, and I'm sure we'll be catching up with you probably at Mountain West Media Days down in October in Las Vegas. We appreciate your time, Coach.
Look forward to meeting you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.